about these games that's coming up today?
And man, this is that weekend that everybody was like, cancel your plans. Make sure you ain't got no weddings planned.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I can honestly say, man, college football has been killing it this year so far. It's been like mayhem after mayhem after, every week. But this weekend, man, we're gonna start the games off with USC, South Carolina, and Alabama. Mm. This one, I got Bama winning, but man, the Bama fan base is going nuts on the board down there in Tuscaloosa, man. They made my man put a collar shirt on at an interview, man. That's crazy. I quit bullying this dude, man. He just I know you heard it all week, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, he's only 5 games in. I seen what people was wanting him to get fired. I seen, people bullying him about his attire on the sidelines. I've seen it all. But like I said, he's only 5 games in. I do think he's a good coach. I think I think it was a learning lesson for him. They had just beat Georgia. They was on a high. Maybe they didn't prepare as well as they should have against Vanderbilt, and then they caught them. Just one quick thing that he mentioned, though, the offense was clicking. They pretty much scored on every possession except for the 2 that they had the turnovers on. They only had the ball for 17 minutes. The offense, which is their best side of the ball, only had the ball for 17 minutes in that game, and they scored 35 points. Whereas it is. Whereas the defense was on the field for 42 minutes.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying. Bama's always been, defense is that's how they would win, right? They had sometimes, some of their championship teams had very, I guess, average QB, some good explosive players, and a good running back. But defense is where they made their money.
Right.
And but that was a shocker. Because everybody's like, oh, this is Vandy. Click over to the next game or to another game. Ooh,
right.
Nah, man. People forget, even though it's not the same situation, and disclaimer. When Saban took over, the Bama program was in that rebuild still. They had come off of some horrible seasons.
Right.
And the board got like a new Cadillac. You know what I'm saying? Just don't scratch it, just don't crash it, man. So it's slightly different, but it's still his first season. And I mean, I'm trying to think of who Saban lost that first year too. That people were like, "What are we doing?"
Louisiana Monroe.
There you go. See, so everybody calm down. You know what I'm saying? He'll get his team going in the right direction. And Bama's schedule coming up is not bad. It's still some tough games, but it's not a burner, right? You got South Carolina today. Tennessee is going to be a tough game.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bama can win that one.
Mm-hmm.
Missouri, LSU, Oklahoma, and then, of course, the Iron Bowl, man. Iron Bowl is going to be it don't matter what the schedule is there. But I got Bama today.
Yeah, I got Bama today. I think this is going to be the time today. I think they're going to take it a little bit more serious. I think they got kind of tired of hearing all the noise, and I think they're going to come out and play today. I think the defense is kind of fix itself, and I think they're going to be pretty good today. So I got Bama winning by like 28.
28. The line's at 21.5 on ESPN. So let's see. Then we got Clemson at Wake Forest. Clemson is 4-1. 3-0 ACC play. Wake Forest 2-3. They got Clemson at -21. I'm going with Clemson, man. I don't think Clemson's going to struggle.
Yeah, I got Clemson as well. I mean, everybody kind of, crapped on Dabo, and he got the boys playing, man, with minimal help from the transfer portal, right? Which is what all the other teams are using, and Clemson looks good and look like they're on a collision course with Miami for the ACC championship game. So as long as he keeps it up, they're gonna be there.
Yeah, no, Clemson, and I mean they did play Georgia to open up the season with, right? So I mean, but the only thing about My thing is Dabo, right? It's just they're not as explosive. They don't seem as explosive as they have in the past. And I think Miami does have more explosive players on offense than they do. And Miami this year has a defense to stop what they got.
Right.
So I think that's going to be a good matchup coming up. You know what I'm saying? If both of them don't crash the bus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They should roll into the ACC championship.
Yeah.
And then that's easy.
Yeah. And Clemson number
Missouri
10 now, right? This Clemson number 10. Clemson is number 10 now too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Then another game. We got Missouri at UMass. That's easy. Missouri, 27.5.
I think Missouri, they got taken behind the woodshed against Texas A&M. I think they're going to come out and dominate today.
Yeah, and they dropped to 21. That's a huge drop off. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. They did not look good against Texas A&M at all. And Luther Burden was pouting, when he got the touchdown, got called back. They didn't look, and they've been kind of teetering all season too. Like I said, they barely beat Vanderbilt. They kind of been teetering on the line anyway. So, yeah.
Vanderbilt's that team, bro. I'm telling you. Hey, the next game. Now, this is the big one, right? This is the beat. Every year, we'll kick off the Saturday is the Red River rivalry, right? We got Texas, Oklahoma. Both got good records. And with this, like, we ain't got AB here today because he would be like, UT all the way, bro. But I think it's gonna be a good game. I got Texas taking it. In that neutral field they got there, but I just think Texas seems like they are on the path for that national title run, in my opinion.
Yeah, I got Texas as well, but I think it's going to be closer than the experts think. Yeah, right. I think it is going to be a close game because it's a huge rivalry. And then one thing that people should take into account: that Quinn Ewers is coming back off an injury. He hasn't played in like the last, I think, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So him coming back, they may be a little rusty on offense. So just kind of curious to see how that plays out with him coming back. But I still think Texas wins. I just think it's going to be closer than what the experts think.
I forgot to mention that. I mean, Ewers coming back, and if he's struggling, how long is Sark going to leave him in there? You know what I'm saying? Before he's like, hey, time to put Arch back in. You know what I'm saying? Or create that quarterback controversy that people have been looking for all year.
Well, I know AB would say there's no quarterback controversy, but if Texas struggles, I'm with you, Ed. What does Sark keep him in the game, or does he say, "Hey, let me put Arch in," to give you some relief? So that's gonna be a good storyline to see.
There's a perfect storm for that, man. Especially if they struggle early.
Yeah.
We got Texas at minus 16.5. I think it's a little.
Yeah.
That's a little much. I still got Texas, but not by that much.
Yeah, that's why I was saying I think it's gonna be a lot closer.
Way closer,
yeah. Yeah. And then next week, Texas got Georgia. Yeah.
Texas are they at Georgia or they're in Texas?
They at Texas.
In Texas?
Yeah.
See, they got Georgia. Yeah, after that, they got Georgia, Vanderbilt, Florida, Arkansas, Kentucky, and A&M. Did you see the tickets prices on the A&M game?
Yes. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Right now, they're both, the top 2 teams in the SEC. But like I said, Texas A&M, the only loss they have is at Notre Dame. Right, that was their first game of the season, but they look good right now. I'm not surprised, and that's a game that hasn't happened in 4 or 5 years, probably longer than that. So I'm not surprised at all.
So it was like that's all that oil money going.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's funny, man. Then on another 3:30 game that should be good. We got Penn State at USC, and USC to me, man, is underachieving. from what I expected them to. Right, they're underperforming. But as we all know, Penn State's always good for this. They're undefeated. They're rolling in, and they face a good team, and they do what Penn State does. So.
Yeah, I got Penn State winning this one too, but I think they are gonna, it's because they're on the road. I think there's gonna be a close game. USC has been kind of a disappointment. I think some people kind of feel like this is what they thought USC would be, but I feel that the way that they started the season and the trajectory they're on right now, losing to Minnesota and Michigan, kind of disappointing, right? So
this is a tough pick for me because they got Penn State 3-point favorite, right, or 3.5 as a favorite.
Right.
I'm gonna take USC on this one, man, with the stunner, because that traveling all the way over there.
Right.
We've seen like Miami. Thankfully, they escaped out of there with a win, but it's tough, man. Get on the road playing when your body feels like it's 10 p.m.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm taking USC there.
Yeah, I think Penn State gonna win.
Let's see. Let's go. Then we got Stanford at Notre Dame. Also, that should be Notre Dame all the way. Mm-hmm. Unless they just lay an egg, I don't think. Worst case scenarios, I still would take Notre Dame over Stanford on this one.
Yeah, I would too. And Notre Dame can't afford to lay an egg. Right. They already lost that Northern Illinois game. They pretty much got to go undefeated the rest of the way if they can. And they can't lay an egg against Stanford. So Freeman got to have them ready to play today.
And that's crazy, right? You just said it. They gotta perform throughout. And at the end of the season, that selection committee is gonna be like, well, why should you be in, right?
Right.
Because you're gonna have your conference champions, you're gonna have your undefeateds. And the way you lost, you're not a conference champion, and you lost to Northern Illinois. I want to see that conversation. I want to see where they end up at.
Right. Yeah, and their schedule is their biggest win right now is the Texas A&M win, right?
Yeah.
But now the USC game doesn't look as good anymore. They still got Clemson. So that's really like the last two games I think that they had where it's going to be that can help them propel them back into the race. But they really got to play well against Clemson.
Let's see. Notre Dame. No, Notre Dame ain't got Clemson.
Oh, they don't?
Notre Dame got so they got Stanford, they got Georgia Tech, they got Navy, Florida State, Virginia, Army, and end the season at USC.
That's what I was thinking. Florida State went in the few. Okay, yeah, not Clemson. You're right. State. It was Florida State. Yeah.
Because remember, at one point they were supposed to come to the ACC for football only. So every year they do have a lot of ACC matchups.
Right.
But I mean, they can't slip up. So you got Florida State. Can they do it? Yes. Right. They have the players. It just seems like if they haven't gelled it together, because I mean that Clemson Florida State score wasn't as lopsided as people thought it would be. So, but you know how I feel about Notre Dame anyway, so get out of here. Then we got Cal at Pitt. Pitt's 5-0.
Mm-hmm.
And Cal has had some really close games. But I'm taking Pitt on this one.
Yeah, I am too. Guy that played quarterback at Bama, Eli Holstein, he's having a great season this year for Pitt.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I kind of feel bad that they got to travel all. Are they going to Cal, right? So it's a lot of traveling again. Like you just kind of said about Penn State and USC. It's a lot of travel. So it depends on how they're going to get up for that game. But I think Pitt's going to be good to go.
No, my bad. Cal's coming to Pitt. So
Cal's coming to Pitt.
Yeah, okay. That gives Pitt the advantage all the way with that one. But yeah, no, Pitt's schedule, man. So they got some quality wins, right? They got a West Virginia team that they beat. They beat. I ain't gonna call North Carolina a quality win just yet, but because you saw how James Madison dropped like a crazy number on UNC.
Yeah, the UNC is struggling right now, man. Once Max Johnson went down, their two backups haven't been as good. I think Mac Brown's in trouble. I don't see him lasting past this season. I think he's going to retire after the season.
He getting beat so bad, old man want to retire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
All right. Then we got another like little gimme. Purdue at Illinois. That should be
Illinois.
Illinois all the way. They're Illinois. They're a 22.5 favorite.
Yeah. And then I think Illinois got Michigan next week. So it should be a good one too. So yeah, Illinois, Brett Bielema's got them boys playing, man.
Hey man, he's a solid coach, man. They got Michigan next week, Oregon they're at Oregon the following week. And they go Minnesota, Michigan State, Rutgers, Northwestern. So we'll see how they do, man, at Oregon.
Yeah, man.
And then let's see, going into the Arizona at BYU. BYU sitting undefeated, 5-0.
Yeah.
Cougar football, you know what I'm saying? It's not like a team that I follow closely, but they've been playing some good football, man. They got a big win over Kansas State. They beat them 38-9. Had a close win against Baylor. So I think they're going to stay undefeated.
Yeah, Arizona's been pretty good this year too. Right now, they beat Utah, right? But I know the Utah lost last night. But I mean, they have a chance to go in there and upset BYU, but I would still go with BYU as of right now.
Yeah. Same here. I'm taking BYU, and that one's staying undefeated.
Yeah.
Then we're going on to Mississippi State at Georgia.
Yeah, Mississippi State has struggled this year. They got a new coach, Jeff Levy, and I just think it's a lot of things going on there. He's pretty much changed the offense from what it was last year. He just got a lot of things going on, so I think Georgia will demolish Mississippi State today.
Yeah, man. I think the Georgia Bulldogs are going to take. So they're a 34-point favorite,
right?
And I think they get that,
right. And I think too, after seeing what happened with Bama last week, and then knowing that they got Texas next week, I don't think they're gonna let off the gas. I think they're gonna come in strong and not take this game for granted.
It better not, because they got a tough next couple of weeks. All right. So then we go to the evening games, man. First one this is one of the games that I think the underdog can win, man. Florida at Tennessee, and people be like, Florida. This is their little, they got a little bit of a rivalry going on. Florida can compete with them if they can just stop it. If they can control the QB play by Tennessee, Florida has a chance.
I like Tennessee in this one.
Yeah.
I mean, it will be a great win for Billy Napier. He needs a great win. He needs a big win. Especially with the way the rest of his schedule is lined up. Because I think I seen maybe only one more victory, and that was Florida State, possibly.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I think Tennessee. I mean, they're at home too. They're another team that lost last weekend. I think they're gonna come out and play ball today, and then they know they have Bama next week too. So I don't think they're gonna lose that game.
I know everybody. That's one thing, right? They cannot overlook Florida looking into Bama, because they're that's Tennessee. Bama's a big rivalry that's been around for years. So as long as they don't look over Florida, I mean, they should handle business. But I just feel with the stuff how we've been seeing the games go, every weekend, I'm taking Florida on this one.
Okay,
by a miracle.
By a miracle. Okay. By a miracle. Okay.
All right, let's see. Then this is the game, to me, the game of the week, I think, personally. It's the Ohio State at Oregon. And there's some people are going to be like, there's other good. But this one right here to me is like two teams that we want to see. They're both undefeated. Had a lot of noise coming into the season. They always have, last year, both of them thought they were going to make a little run for it. But I don't know, man. This is going to be a good game. I think Ohio State's favored in it.
Yep, by 3.
By 3. And they're at Oregon. So, I don't know, man. It's going to be – Dylan Gabriel's having pretty good for Oregon. He has 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's the more experienced quarterback. So, I'm with, Oregon, bro. I'm going with Oregon.
So, to kind of piggyback on what you said about Oregon with Ohio State, Ryan Day, I feel like this is kind of like Ryan Day's first have-to-win game. All right, because if he doesn't win, right, you look at, hey, now he hasn't beat Michigan, and now you can't go out and beat Oregon, who's one of the better teams in the Big Ten. I think Ohio State's going to be ready. They have a lot of good pieces on defense. They got a lot of good pieces on offense. Still kind of questionable about Will Howard. Haven't seen him really explode yet.
Yeah.
But I think Ohio State wins by a field goal. I think it's the 3 points. I think it's going to be a very good game, but I still got Ohio State winning.
Yeah, and this one kicks off at 7:30. So it's a good kickoff time for us here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Not like last weekend. I was watching the Miami game till like 2 a.m. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it ended here like 1:30, I think. Yeah, it's crazy.
But nah, all right. That's gonna be a good game. I look forward to that one.
Yeah.
Another one going on at the same time too, man. This is where I wish I had like 4 TVs playing. It's Ole Miss at LSU.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. Both of them had one loss, but I like LSU in this one, man. The game's at home. I think Brian Kelly's gonna have the boys ready to play. I think Garrett Nussmeier has proven that he's a pretty good quarterback for the SEC. I mean, whoever loses this game, it hurts them for preparing for the playoffs. Ole Miss, of course, suffered against Kentucky, and then LSU lost to USC. So whoever, it kind of hurts whoever loses. But I'm gonna go with LSU on this because it's at home and it's at night.
And that place is crazy.
Yes.
At home at night.
Yes.
Death Valley, right? That's there's still a debate which Death Valley is Death Valley, but that one there,
that's the real one.
That's where the real one is.
Yeah, that's the real one.
And that's you walking into Baton Rouge, Louisiana, LSU team that has the talent, and I'm like, I'm going to LSU. Ole Miss has a great team, right? But and they they're trying to bounce back after a loss, but it's a bad week to try to bounce back on,
The one thing that Ole Miss has going for it, if I remember correctly, LSU has like their defense is ranked in the 90s.
Yeah.
And of course they struggled on defense last year too. So that will be the saving grace for Ole Miss if they can get down and score points. But they struggled with Kentucky, who had a defense. So I don't know. I just got to see it. But right now I'm gonna go LSU because of the home field advantage.
Yeah, it's gonna be the lines at Ole Miss. They're at -3.5. So LSU, man, they got to do it.
Yeah.
Then we go on. Iowa State at West Virginia. Iowa State 5-0. West Virginia 3-2. They're in West Virginia. I'm going Iowa State, man.
Yeah, I'm going West Virginia.
West Virginia.
I think Neil Brown's been doing a solid job.
Yeah.
He's been doing a solid job with West Virginia. I know they lost to Penn State that first game of the season. Like I said, I think West Virginia is a pretty good team. I know some were picking them to win the Big 12 earlier this year, so I'm gonna go with them.
Yeah, man. I mean, West Virginia's losses are at Pitt, they were at Pitt and Penn
Yep.
State to open the season.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Oklahoma State. They beat Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm still gonna stick with my Iowa State, but West Virginia, man, they got Kansas State afterwards too, so they got 2 big weeks back to back. But talking about Kansas State, they're at Boulder, Colorado, man. So this is the game. I guess 4-1. Hey, shout out to Colorado for being 4-1. I did not think they were going to be 4-1 at this point. So this is good, right? And people are like, oh, y'all just hating. No, it's not hate, man. It's just the distraction, the amount of distractions that team has. I don't see how they're, and the amount of just issues. But Kansas State is like Mr. Reliable, bro. They, they're going to play hard. They're going to be well prepared, well coached. And I think Kansas State is going to take this one.
Oh yeah, you got no argument for me. I think Kansas State wins. I do have to tip my cap to Shedeur Sanders and to Travis Hunter. They are lighting it up this year, right? And there are huge reasons why Colorado is where they are right now. And Shedeur Sanders, man, he had a heck of a game against UCF last time they played. Mm-hmm. So I still don't think that they have enough to beat Kansas State, but I do just want to give my, props to those two. Those they're playing some ball out there.
Man, without either one of them, they're not 4-1. They lose to Baylor. That was that crazy catch in the end zone, and then but man, that they play, bro. They're exciting to watch, right? When they do play, there's sometimes where you're like, it drives you nuts because of the offensive line is just. It looks like there's just 4 posters of players sitting up there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But one thing is that Jordan Seaton, I think he was the #1 offensive lineman. Mm-hmm. He's been playing pretty well. He's been coming on as of late. It's been kind of helping him out, but still got a lot of struggles, man, on that offensive line and the defensive line. So
that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it is.
Got some cardboard cutouts of offensive linemen out there. Hey, man. And then the late game is the Boise State at Hawaii. And if you have not heard of Ashton Jeanty yet, you must have been living under a rock, man. This dude is killing it as a running back. Got 95 carries, 1,031 yards, 16 touchdowns. He averages 10.9 yards a carry. And they still got so much football left to play.
Yeah, he's legit, man. I think we was talking about it earlier, but right now, they got him, Cam Ward, and Travis Hunter as the Heisman favorites, right? And a running back hasn't won the Heisman since 2015. And he had, man, if he keeps playing like that, and if he can break Barry's record, man, the sky's the limit for him.
That's crazy too, man. I was watching, they were doing this little piece on him. So he's like, his dad was in the Navy, so he played football in Italy and had to play in different places like that. So maybe that's why coming out of high school he wasn't as highly sought after, but
right,
he's killing it, man. And people's like, the way he looks like Michael Myers in the backfield just standing there.
Yeah, I see
that, man.
Yeah.
I want to see how his numbers going to look after playing Hawaii.
Yeah, one thing that kind of shocked me on the little piece, I think we've seen the same piece, but he was talking about how all these schools was trying to get him in the transfer portal, and he didn't want to go. He wanted to stay where he started at, right, and build that legacy there at Boise State, man. I thought that was pretty good, man, because most people would have left and tried to go to the to the big school and play ball, but I thought it's pretty unique of him.
Next year, we might need some. We got a spot for you. If you're tired of being cold in Boise, man, we got a spot for you down here, man. You know what I'm saying? Give my dog Mario a call, you know? No, man. That dude's it's crazy because you think about by the numbers, who he's being compared to. Barry Sanders and all the greats of the past, right? And I was like, it's good for him to do that. And I'm glad he stayed at Boise State. People, Boise State had a nice run where for a long time. I remember they knocked off Oklahoma in one of the bowl games. They had a really good record. What's that quarterback that was? Kellen Moore played there.
Kellen Moore. Yep.
Yeah.
He's the offensive coordinator in the NFL now.
Yeah. He only had, I think, like 1 or 2 losses.
Yeah.
His entire collegiate career. So in Boise State, good place to play football. Plus, they got that weird turf.
Yeah, that blue turf.
But nah, man, I'm taking Boise.
Yeah, I got Boise too. Hawaii hasn't really had a good team in a while.
Nah, man, it's gonna be like I said, it's a great weekend of football, man. And there's already some good games. We saw Arizona State knock off Utah. Cam Rising had a terrible game. He had 3 picks. He had 16 for 37. He struggled a little bit.
Yeah, man. It's kind of disappointing because I think a lot of people had Utah being in the playoffs, Big 12 champs, and they're pretty much about to fall out of the top 25. And it's kind of disappointing to see, man. But the injuries to Cam Rising, that plays a big part. To win in college, man, you got to have a good quarterback. So
yeah, he's gonna. I think it's hurting his draft stock too, right? Like they showed a graph where how many games he played each season and something like that, and he hasn't had a complete season in a few years now. So we'll see, man. I just another good game too was the UNLV. They're 5-1.
Yep.
They might jump back in the top 25. See how they keep they keep on going.
Yeah, their only loss was to Syracuse. Yeah,
that's it. That's it, man. Hey, I'm ready for this weekend or these games to start, man. So
yeah, me too.
Go get the brewskis going.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
All right.
Y'all take it easy.
All right. Y'all take it easy. Peace.
Peace.